right. With YouTube and Facebook, I'm streaming live simultaneously. But I'm back. I know it's been a minute since I sort of went ghost. I needed some time to just get my mind and get myself together. So, but I have missed going live. I have missed sharing the knowledge that I digest. And so I just decided what better way to come to start giving back other than to just share my daily readings. Every day I spend some time reading, and it's pretty profound reading. And I read it and I'm just like, this is so good. Other people need to know this, right? So I'm just gonna start sharing. And I'm reading this book right now, Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. I am almost done, but I mean, the whole book is pretty much highlighted. I mean, the whole book is amazing. I wish I would have thought to do this from the beginning, but I have so many books that I want to read that I don't want to stop um, right now and start from the beginning to start this sharing of what I'm reading. So I'm just going to start from where I am, and then every other book I read, I will share from the beginning. So this book, Three Magic Words, this book is about the greatest idea in the world, a splendid secret revealed in just 3 words. An idea so simple, so startling, so wonderful that it can start you on an exciting adventure that will bring you everything you wanted. That's the title, okay? So this chapter 10, is about health. By perceiving the inner perfection, thou attaineth a vigorous health. For thy body is but a projection of thy view of the indwelling self. That's the little blurb. So the origin of disease. Health and well-being are the natural states of every form of life. For all things are rooted in universal subconscious mind, which is perfect. Every living thing is but an idea held in universal mind, made manifest in space and time, gifted with consciousness, which seeks ever to know more about itself. There is only one intelligence, one mind in all creation, and all things are made from it. According as each thing realizes the perfection in which it is rooted, it attains to the perfection itself. Thus, physical health proceeds from mental peace, and disease and corruption proceed from mental confusion. I will read that again. According as each thing realizes the perfection in which it is rooted, it attains to perfection itself. Thus, physical health proceeds from mental peace, and disease and corruption proceed from mental confusion. Disease is a product of the confusion attendant upon growing self-consciousness. So it is that man, the most intelligent of all forms of life, falls constant prey to disease and illness, while the lower forms of life exist in physical perfection, unburdened by mental confusion. The lower we go on the scale of life, the scarcer becomes the evidence of disease, until at last we are forced to the conclusion that disease is a product of mental development, most certainly a product of evolving consciousness. Evolving consciousness carries with it an increasing number of conflicts which project themselves into universal mind, which manifest them physically in the form of disease and corruption of the body. Man who has come the full scale of self-consciousness, but has not as yet evolved the greater consciousness of immortal self, sees himself as an insignificant dot in a gigantic universe where he has not ordered his existence and cannot stay his death. His highly developed little ego cuts him off from the roots of his being, and he knows fear and futility and hate and bitterness, all of which sets up conflicts between his emotions and his mind, projecting into universal intelligence, cast his concept of himself from perfection. I'm sorry, let me start over. His highly developed little ego cuts him off from the roots of his being, and he knows fear and futility and hate and bitterness, all of which sets up conflicts between his emotions and his mind. Project into universal intelligence, cast his concept of himself from perfection, and return to him as gallstones, kidney stones, ulcers, high blood pressure, hardening of the arteries, cancer, leprosy, deafness, and so on to ad infinitum. Psychology and psychiatry have unmasked this chain of cause and effect so clearly that medical science, devised to treat disease as a physical thing only, now freely admits that 80% of all disease is of mental origin. It will not be much longer before this admission is enlarged to 100% where it should be, because all disease starts in the mind, as well does all health. A truth cannot be partly right, and it's obvious that all things have their origin in something greater than the physical world around us. The bacterial concept of disease is satisfactory for the chain of effects that exist on the physical plane. But why do such bacteria enter one body and not another? And why are they harmless in some bodies and yet deadly in others? Indeed, why do they exist at all? Any man who considers the origin of anything must come at last to the invisible but very apparent intelligence from which all things have sprung and concede it to be first cause. Since this intelligence would scarcely be intelligent at all if its normal procedure were to attack itself, such as in microbes attacking a human body, then it must be conceded that it is creating disease in response to something. That something is a conception formed by the conscious mind and projected into universal subconscious mind, whence it manifests in the physical world. It is a rare person who consciously desires to be sick, though it is certainly true that a few unhappy people have so completely cut themselves off from spiritual unity of life that nothing further appeals to them than this form of slow suicide. That's sad. I hate that people are living like that. The vast majority of people fall prey to disease through negative thinking, habits, and through coping mechanisms established in answer to buried pain remembrances or prompters. A person who is chronically ill has a subconscious desire to be sick. Though to confront him with such a thesis would be to inspire the most vehement denial. And even those of us who are sick only occasionally become so because it is a way of coping with the situation that confronts us. Since we do not know ourselves or even know who we are, we do not understand the dynamically creative energy in which we live. Nor do we understand our subconscious desires, nor do we understand that each of these desires is delivered to us in reality. So it is that all disease, all warping of the body from its natural physical perfection comes because a person holds subconscious feelings of hate, bitterness, resentment, envy, jealousy, greed, self-pity, maliciousness, or any number of the countless abortions that corrupt the natural expression of the universe, which is love. That's good. And what that tells me and what I take away from that is that we have control over how we feel. It's not the environment, it's not what we eat, it's what we think, it's what we believe. If you believe that being around other people who are sick will make you sick, you will most certainly get sick. If you believe that going out in the rain without your head covered up will cause you to get a cold, you're going to get the sniffles. It's what you believe. And what you believe will make itself manifest in all areas, all aspects of life. So as you begin to realize that, act on it, because that's the control we have. That's the ability to dictate what shows in our lives, because we and only us, only you, only me is responsible for our own thoughts. No one can invade them unless we allow them to. That's why it's so important to go through a season or take account of your life, of who feeds your life and who doesn't. And if there's someone who's not feeding your life, who's draining you, or who is causing you to be defensive, or who are just toxic in their thoughts, and then you join them in that toxicity, you guys trauma bond, and you feed off of each other's negative energy, you need to take a break from that person, and you need to redirect your thoughts to yourself and the health of yourself, starting with your spiritual health. And that spiritual health will result in physical health every time. So that's the mental investment for today. I'm Sabria Morris. You can check me out at bankpowder.com. Bank Powder is a spiritual tool that I created to attract wealth, love, and protection in one's life. You can use it as a candle dressing. You can put it in a mojo bag. You can put it in a money jar. You can ground with it. You can smell it and just allow yourself to relax. There's so much you can do with it. If you've not heard about Bank Powder, check me out at bankpowder.com. And I'm either Bank Powder or bank_powder on all social media platforms, where I have how-to videos and a lot of different ways in which you can use Bank Powder. So this is my other outlet where I want to share the intellect, that side of me. And so today's mental investment was brought to you by 3 Magic Words, chapter 10. We read a few pages out of chapter 10 on health. And I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what you heard and what was read. And if you agree that all illness, disease comes from a spiritual root, and it reflects in a physical ailment. Let me know if you agree with that. And if not, what do you believe? All right, have a great day. Take care.